Hey, 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 yippee-ki-yay! Leave a comment if you know there's two references to films in that impersonation I was doing. Leave a comment if you get both references. The hey, 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 and the yippee-ki-yay. Welcome to part 2 of the yippee-ki-yay. So the other day my phone storage was low and I didn't get to finish what I wanted to say, so I figured I would do a part 2 about running. So the thing that I didn't get to say was, people that have never jogged or ran, up until about 5-6 years ago, I never ran for exercise or anything like that, especially in the street, like, outside. I used to run on a treadmill, but I hated it. I used to cycle to get my cardio indoors. I always hated walking. Always hated having to go by foot anywhere. I was like, why would I walk somewhere if I can get a bicycle, you know what I mean, or a skateboard, or I don't know, fly, anything other than that. So I always had this. There's a Donald Trump dummy over there. That's pretty funny. I didn't see that until now. Okay, so let's pause this till I get a shot of this Donald Trump thing. What in the freak is that? It's like a giant Donald Trump mannequin. That's pretty funny. Where in the heck did that come from? It's a Donald Trump costume. That's hilarious. Where did that come from? Did you make that?
Yeah, you can't keep a little bit from mom.
That's really cool, man.
Thank you.
Wow. What's that made out of?
Paper mache.
Paper mache. That's really good.
Thick water.
Look at that. It's a giant Donald Trump with a man inside.
Yeah.
Look at that. Eric Rudolph. That is cool. Make sure I get a good picture of that. It's like an 8-foot tall Donald Trump costume. The guy said, "Don't get too close to me." Why don't you wear a mask, dude? If you don't want people too close to you. Okay, so anyway, a monkey in the wrench there. All right, so back to the running. I don't know if I can keep a straight face after seeing that. That's fucking hilarious. An 8-foot tall, he's walking down now. An 8-foot tall Donald Trump. Can you see him back there? He's got the suit perfect, the tie and everything. I'll have to put that on Instagram on Mr. John Swift. I'll take a screenshot and I'll put it on there. That is friggin' funny. All right, so back to serious subjects. All right, so the whole jogging thing. The point I want to make to you guys is, it doesn't suck as much as you think it. That's the overall message I'm trying to speak about. Is I never used to run until about 5 years ago. I was sort of working part-time with my girlfriend, which I hated. Not because of her, I was doing like cleaning work and stuff, and I hated it. And I was looking for something to do to just take up some time. So I'm just like, why don't I just go start walking? Well, when I started doing that, around the same time I started doing that, I thought about doing videos too. I was already doing some videos about how to make things like crafts and stuff. I started this channel called Fun Halloween channel, which I think is still up on the internet, but it didn't get the traction that I wanted, so I just started piling everything into one YouTube. Anyway, long story short, when I started walking, I started gradually jogging some to see if I could do that, because I was curious about why do people run? I don't understand it. Like, why put your knees and your feet through all the trauma? So after I started running, I started understanding that you get an endorphin. Feels like an endorphin, fueled up by endorphins, and you feel good. You just generally feel better from the exercise and everything. Don't you love when people talk on the phone while they're driving and then they don't know how to drive and then they drive really slow? Like that lady. Have to be on the phone while you're parking. It's one of my pet peeves. Anyway, let's not get derailed on that. So, yeah, so I started running gradually, you know, maybe like a half mile at a time or a quarter mile, and then I'd walk. And I realized if you break through that barrier of like the first few minutes of being uncomfortable, just being like, oh man, I'm so out of breath, and you sort of work up to it, you get that endorphin rush, and then it's like called like a runner's high, where you start feeling really good, and it feels like it starts to make your brain come alive. It sort of like pumps those what do you call that, hormones or whatever that chemicals are, and it seems like it sort of helps you think, and it's also sort of relaxing. And I'm sure you're saying, how is running relaxing? Once you get that runner's high, it sort of feels like you're floating. You forget about the physical part of actually pounding the pavement, and honestly, you stop feeling pain too. It's like you get adrenaline based on running. This is my experience, and I'm sure, you know, there's thousands of people that do that for the same reason, is because they feel good. It makes you feel good. Like I said, the first maybe 5-10 minutes, it takes a while for you to get sort of kick started into running, and then after that you sort of get into this like a good warm place where you're not even aware that you're out of breath and that you're running. I think it might take weeks or months to get into that place where you can get that high, and you can, you know, your legs get used to it. So just a quick word about, you know, you might say, yeah, but I have a bad knee, I got bad hips, I've got bad ankle, I've had surgery on my big toe, which temporarily sort of fixed it, but now it's like it hurts again, and I still have pain in my big toe. It's like the whole joint is basically frozen. Have knee problems. I don't know exactly what's wrong with some tendonitis or something in the joint. I've got bad shoulders, but the pain seems to go away after I run. And one of the main things I've learned from going to rehab therapy type of things like that is that movement is good for you, even if you have pain. Being active and moving is good for you. Like I said, if I listed all the injuries that I've had and that still bother me, it'd be like 2 shoulders, wrist, knee, and probably my butt. My back has been bothering me for years and years and years. My foot, my ankle. It's like the $6 Million Man. It's pretty much, the only thing that doesn't hurt is like my ears. But other than that, everything is good. My nose is okay. I had nose problems too, but so I would think even if you do have knee problems, it's good to walk, because like I said, I've had rehab at least half a dozen times, maybe more. And the thing I've learned over the years, over probably the last 10 years, is that movement is good. When you have surgery on your hip, they'll have you up the next day or the next day after that walking, because what happens is your body wants to heal and it'll leave scar tissue, and then it'll be less flexible. So they want you moving as much as possible. So this year I effed up my neck, hit a door with my head, the door hit me, and my finger. I mean, it's like every year it's like, I sprain my ankle or something. And so I'm not saying that I'm an Iron Man, but I've learned how to push past pain, because literally every day I wake up, there's something that's hurting, something that's sore. It'll be my knee or my shoulder or my neck. And if you sit around because, well, I have a bad back, it's probably not going to get better unless you're moving. And that may be simplifying things, but I think it's true. So anyway, to get past that part, I think running and or walking is just great in general. Even if you can't walk a long way, it's physically and mentally better for you. And that's the point I wanted to get across when I encourage people to either take up running or walking or just treadmilling. I think outside it's better, because at least you have some interaction. If you're on a treadmill, I get really super bored. That's why I don't do treadmills anymore, because I have like attention deficit and I just get so bored looking at the wall. I mean, even if I watch TV, I get bored. So this has really helped me to want to come out and see things. Plus, along with the beautiful stuff, is I can see and find interesting places to go by walking, because when you're like driving a car, you can't see all these little things that are cool and these interesting houses and interesting places that I found. Most of the, I've put out like probably 25 plus abandoned houses, or like, you know, videos of that nature, where some historic site that I found by walking. I'll drive somewhere, I'll walk around some neighborhood I've never been to, and I'll find all these interesting things, and or like you know, go to an area like down south where I've never been, and I'll just walk the neighborhood and or wherever, and find all these interesting details. Like I said, you can't really drive and do that. So that's kind of the main point I want to get across to you guys, is walking can be fun if you're into the visual aspects. Plus I like photography and all that stuff. So that's what I wanted to come across to you guys today, that I didn't get to have time to do in the other video, is that there's it's multitasking. You're exercising while you're sort of sightseeing, and or maybe taking pictures, and or, you know, finding cool things. Maybe you meet people. I've met a lot of people just from walking around neighborhoods and found out a lot of stuff. You know, I've probably got 600 plus videos out, probably way more than that. It might be 700, and probably 3/4 of that I've gotten the inspiration by going out walking, or, you know, I call it like exploring places. And that's really how I've done it, is just discovered places by getting out. And like I said, if you can't run, just walk. Anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox now and continue my run along the water. It's like a beautiful day. Look at that sky. Isn't that freaking amazing? It's like just beautiful blue. It's one of those great days. It's like in the 70s. Sun's out, sky's perfect. And I just want to be out experiencing the good weather, because it's been shit lately. It's been in the 80s. Anyway, I hope you guys are good. Hope you guys continue to stay good. Leave a comment at the beginning thing if you know where those 2 references are. I don't have any prizes to give away, but I will maybe mention you, or I will answer you back. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. We'll see you.